welcome to Dry Fly Collective, your local real estate hub for everything real estate here in the Sun Valley market. If you wouldn't mind, give this video a like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Let's talk about some statistics here. Somebody asked me while I was at the gym the other day, what's going on with the market? Prices, are they going up? Are they going down? Let's take a big look here at this graph. So what this one's going to talk about is price trends over the course of the last several years, dating back to 2017. You can see here, I've got median sales price up there. I don't want to deal with the averages per se. If I throw the averages in there, it pulls everything a little bit higher. I think the median gives us a slightly cleaner picture for what we're dealing with. But if you got any questions on the averages, please reach out. I'd be happy to have a conversation there. So let's just take a look at this. You can tell what our home price is doing. They're going up, right? They have gone up. And just so you know, I think a good rule of thumb in the real estate space is, roughly 3 or 4% appreciation every single year. There are years where that doesn't happen. There are years where it goes significantly above that. For instance, we had some negative appreciation after the 2008 housing market crash, and then obviously the COVID market. We saw substantial increases in a 1 and 2 year period. So let's just look at again, bigger, broader picture here. What's going on with our market? You can tell back in 2017, we were very close and consistent around that $400,000 to $600,000 price point. The home prices that we start to see increase. This is COVID right here where I'm kind of circling. That's May of 2020. You can see 400,000 sort of bottoming out, and price points rise relatively quickly there, and they continue to do so. Now, the interesting thing is somewhere around this 2023 mark, the federal government began to increase interest rates in order to make borrowing more expensive, in order to cool off the economy, in order to bring inflation down. And you can kind of see that even though that has really challenged the overall national real estate market, it has drugged sales to almost a 30-year low for the last 3 years. We're bumping along that bottom. Locally, it really didn't hamper price points. They have continued to go up, and as you guys all know, we're definitely a wealthier community, and there's a lot of cash buyers in the market that might not be influenced by interest rates, but there are a lot of people that do use their portfolios to borrow against, and they are, they interest rates mean something to them. The stock market means something to them, and as it goes up, that's fine. But when it goes down, that can be challenging and a detriment. But look at where we are here. We had a high water mark of a median sales price in February of last year, at 1.8. And it has consistently gone back down. I want to just kind of focus in 2025. We only have 2 months that were above $1 million on our median sales price point. So the price point is starting to fall. It's not happening quickly. Our inventory is going to be the biggest culprit in that, right? If we see inventory rise, we will see prices soften up. That has not happened. We did see inventory rise this summer to the highest we've had in a number of years. And let's just have a look at that real quick. Here's our active listings. Let me get rid of these sold ones. Until this number starts to get back up to where it was back in 2017, we're going to have a really hard time finding our price points. Now, I want to go look at a couple other numbers because when I'm talking about these are macro numbers in our valley. Let's dive into a couple different locations here. So let's start up sort of in the north end, Sun Valley. There's only going to be a few things I want to point out to you guys. I'm happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you if you want to give me a call or shoot me a text or send me an email, however you want to get a hold of me. We've got almost 8 months supply of inventory. So what that means is the current rate in which things are selling, how long would it take to sell everything that's on the market? And in Sun Valley, it would take us about 8 months to sell. Now, there's three types of markets we need to be aware of. There's a buyer's market, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 buyer's markets. There's a seller's market. Think, June of 2020, seller's market. There is a balanced market. So, buyer's market obviously means buyers have the upper hand. There's a lot of inventory. Things aren't trading very quickly. More negotiating power for the buyer. Seller's market is the exact opposite. You have very low inventory. Things are selling very quickly. Sellers have the upper hand. Then you have a balanced market. That means no one truly has an upper hand. Buyers and sellers need to work together to get the deals done and be a little bit more cooperative. It's been challenging finding that balanced market, but that's what we've been dealing with. So 7 months supply is starting to push up towards a buyer's market in Sun Valley, and the median sales price year to date in 2025 is $925,000. It was 1.575 last year. So there's a 41% decrease in the median sales price in the Sun Valley market right now. Okay. So prices in Sun Valley, yes, they are going down. Let's go take a look at Ketchum. You have 9.2 months supply of inventory versus 7.6, a 21% increase in the supply of inventory. Again, how fast things are selling. What kind of market are we dealing with in Ketchum? We're dealing with a buyer's market. Okay. We have a median sales price of $1,448,500 versus $1,009,000 last year. So a 24% decrease in the median sold price in Ketchum. So the two markets up north, Sun Valley, Ketchum, are seeing a softening of the sales pricing. Let's move it to the Mid Valley here. Mid Valley, almost 9 months supply of inventory, up from last year, and a median sales price of 2.7 versus 3.3, so a 19% decrease in price points. So North End, Mid Valley, softening price points, increasing inventory, and a slightly slower selling cycle. Let's move it into Hailey. Help if I could spell Hailey. All right. Now here's where the story begins to turn. We have 3.8 months supply of inventory in Hailey. It was almost 6 months last year. So last year we had a balanced market. This year we are in a seller's market in Hailey. And you can see here you have a median sales price of $764,000 versus $675,000. So you're seeing a very big jump in price points. Hailey is a seller's market. Hailey is very competitive. There is a lot, inventory remains tight, and the buyers are pushing inside of that market. Let's move it down to Bellevue. Bellevue has 4 months supply of inventory, slightly less than it did last year, and a price point of $667,000 versus $621,000. So you're seeing Bellevue and Hailey are really competitive markets. So if you're selling your house in Hailey, if it's priced accordingly, you're probably going to sell it really quickly at asking price. You might even see multiple offers at this point right now. We are seeing more multiple offers on properties than we have in some time. If you're selling in Ketchum, you got to be really strategic with your price points. The property has to look really, really nice, but do expect it to take quite a bit longer to move said property. And that does not mean that every house in Ketchum is going to take, 100+ days to sell. Those are your averages that you're going to wind up dealing with. But the right property at the right price always goes quickly. Now, there was a Mountain Express article, and I haven't behind their paywall here. So this Hailey business growth surpasses Ketchum. I don't know if you guys caught that um, article. Let's just take a look at that real quick. And while I pull that up, here we go. Schools, lower housing costs, driving South Valley shift. Really, really interesting. Did I click on the right one? I did. Let's just scroll down. If you didn't read this article, I certainly think it's worth a read. This kind of gives us a breakdown of how many firms each city has. And you can see going back to 2020, Hailey here at 672, Ketchum with 675, Ketchum was 736, Hailey was 743. Hailey has done a really good job of growing its businesses. And Ketchum has certainly grown. It's just not growing at the same pace that we're seeing Hailey take off. But, again, you've got those price points that are certainly a detriment to a degree to some business owners. And then let's take a look at migration really quickly. Again, Jim over at the assessor's office does a great job of putting out some information for us. And I think that's terrific that we have access to some of this stuff. But let's just see here. Using data derived from changes to driver's licenses, homeowners exemptions applications, and federal tax returns, a nonprofit found that the population of Blaine County increased by approximately 1% in 2024. So we are growing. I know there's a lot of counties out there that saw the influx from COVID. They're starting to see that retreat. We're still trending upwards. So this accounts for the number of people who left the county in 2024, as well as the 500 to 1,100 people who became full-time residents. There's another couple things in here that are worth looking at. The most recent report available showed a wide gap between the average adjusted gross income of $424,000 for those moving to the county versus $154,000 for those moving out. There's definitely an affordability issue. And so I can't stress this enough. Our housing inventory is still remarkably low by historical numbers, right? We're looking at just several hundred residential properties to purchase throughout the entire valley right now. That is not enough to offset the cost, to see prices actually adjust. Now, I don't care how much the Fed does with the interest rates, which are actually beginning to lower now, until the crack in inventory happens, we're going to be really challenged with price points. We're going to be really challenged with affordability. We're going to probably continue to see people move from Ketchum to Hailey. Now, I suppose, though, on the positive side, if you are looking to get in the market in Sun Valley and Ketchum, while yes, still expensive, quite opportunistic right now, where you are seeing price points down across the board. These were two very interesting articles. I think they're definitely worth a read. They also put out the Economic Almanac, which I have not had a chance to really dive into, but there's always some fascinating numbers that come out of that. I hope this is, insightful information. I hope it's pertinent. I hope it's a little bit more close to home as we're looking at the Ketchum, Sun Valley, Hailey, Bellevue markets, and not just the bigger picture Wood River Valley. I think when you guys get in there and see those numbers, I hope that's helpful. If you have questions, would love to help out, and would love to be your trusted resource for real estate across the Sun Valley area. Thank you.